first of all, thank you for coming. I hope you're enjoying Mexico.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. You used to work in the Parisian suburbs as a teacher. How did you...
Just 2 years.
Just 2 years.
So it was like 20 years ago, 22 years ago. So it was it's buried in my mind in the kind of deep past. It's blurred now. So it's not an autobiographical movie. I was not so much inspired by myself, but more trying to find something about now. So I went to classes because I have many friends who are still teachers and teach in the Parisian suburbs in the north. Not exactly where we shot, but in this kind of environment. And so I saw some of the classes. I went and I also did 2 times kind of introduction to logic for high school. And I've tried to feel, but still it's a fiction and it's not realistic.
The scene with the reflections, is that based on something you saw? Or
no, it's something that I like. It's something that's really taught in France for people who are approximately 14 years old. Okay. So I told myself, if somebody 14 years old can understand, any people in the audience can understand if he tries. If he tries, otherwise it will just wait for the end or go out of the theater. And I thought that was a beautiful demonstration, a beautiful proof, because it's self-contained.
Yeah,
you don't,
visual proof.
you don't even need to know how to subtract 2 numbers, or to add 2 numbers, or to multiply 2 numbers, or to divide 2 numbers. It's purely logical reasoning with visual help of the line and the points. And the idea of the symmetry, for me had also some kind of echoes in the movie. This mirror effect between Malik and Mrs. Jekyll, and between Mrs. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde. I think it had some relations to the kind of dual phenomena that you see in the movie. So and I was very excited to try to do a real scene live without any shortcuts, but just letting the audience experience what it is to teach something and what it is to understand something that you don't understand before. To discover something.
And the satisfaction Malik feels.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to feel, because it's the ideal of teaching, getting somebody to understand and to be happy to understand and to be more than happy, because in the end he wants to be a scientist himself. So now he's got this passion inside of him. He's got, now we should say, this light of knowledge that I hope will carry on during all his life.
I hope so. Ms. Hyde and your previous feature, TikTok, both critique French institutions through comedy. Yeah. Why did you explore such contemporary social issues through the classical medium of comedy?
First, why do I am interested by those issues? Because I'm a citizen of France. I don't live, in a castle in Argentina. So for me in France, one of the most important themes and problem is racism. And racism has relations to the suburbs and to those places which are not really suburbs, but in English I think you should say estate, what is the right word? Poor suburbs, because in the States suburbs is for middle class.
Okay, yeah.
Those are poor suburbs, like I don't remember right now the English word. Real estate. Yeah. And so why the comedy? Because I didn't want to do a kind of victimal movie, where the teacher, she's a victim because her pupils are very aggressive. They are, the pupils, also victims of society. Everybody is a victim for somebody. So you have at the end only to say, oh, it's so sad, etc. It's not exciting because you know before what you're going to see, and you know already what you're going to think. Namely, those are victims everywhere. Everywhere is a victim. By doing comedy and also some kind of fictional, fantastic stuff, you can try something that you cannot expect before, like simply, I don't know, like the worst students becomes the best, the worst teacher becomes the best. It gives you a kind of hope, but not demagogical hope, because in the end there is still a feeling of loneliness and difficulty. So you can go a little further, not only just showing what everybody still expects and knows more or less by the TV, by I don't know, everybody has a friend who knows somebody living in the suburbs, etc.
If racism is a problem that you think should be dealt with,
of course.
Why did you allow anti-Semitic jokes in
because
the film?
Every joke should be allowed, I think so. You should allow any joke. It doesn't mean that I'm anti-Semitic.
Of course.
I'm Jew. I'm Jewish, so I don't think. Oh, perhaps some Jewish are anti-Semitic. You have some black guys in the Ku Klux Klan in Samuel Fuller movie. But anything is possible, of course. But yeah, I think this is a kind of sometimes like a dark humor. You know what I mean? Like black humor that I like because you laugh, but you're a little and you feel uncomfortable because you say, "Why it's not so funny to laugh about Hitler or the Shoah," and so you've got something that. You don't know how to react, and I hope, but perhaps I'm wrong, that sometimes in a movie, the audience don't know exactly how to react, and so it opens some possibilities of feeling that you don't have otherwise.
Do you think a filmmaker should be morally responsible for everything that's on screen?
Yeah, why not? But what does it mean concretely to be morally responsible? Does he go to jail if somebody rapes? Now, what this moral responsibility concretely? What does it mean for you?
I don't know, like there's this whole political correctness movement in the USA.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. Okay. I don't like it at all, and I think the US are a little crazy, and also with the problem with the harassment, sexual harassment, it goes too far. For example, now Woody Allen has his career destroyed, and I know that he did very bad things. Roman Polanski too, he did very bad things, but we are not justice. If you want to be a judge, study. And you'll be a judge. But you're not allowed to be a judge. There is, I'm not a police guy. I'm not a judge. So I think I'm doing something else. And if you don't allow any more on the screen anything bad, it will be very, very flat, the stories. You have nothing to tell except you're nice, I'm nice too. Do you want organic food? Yes, I like organic food. Do you want a jug with me? Yeah, I have a the fiction usually goes with trying to find, opposition lines, and you cannot have opposition lines if everybody is just a kind of a gentle hipster,
Political correct. How do you find the contrasts and the oppositions for your films?
In life, perhaps, and by trying to push them a little, to make them clearer. In life, everything is a little blurred because you have so many nuances. It's subtle. Sometimes in art you can be a little more simple. I think. Art can give you the possibility of simplify. It doesn't mean it's simplistic. It means it's more clear. It's like in mathematics. It's simpler. You know where is the opposition, where are the oppositions, and you know where you're crossing a line. Everything is not gray. You have strict, forbidden points.
Did you go through your day looking for contrasts, or
no.
did you just notice it?
And even in my own mind, it comes very naturally. I do like contrast, I think, so even in music and in other things, it excites me.
Just speaking about music, how did you approach rap music for this film?
Yeah, rap in France is very related to the suburb, the real estate suburb. It's the music that those kind of people listen to, but I didn't want also to make a kind of realistic rap because I'm not a big rap fan and I know almost nothing about rap. So I told myself it's just like the rest of the thing. I will try this rap song because it's like a cliche. But then I'm going to do something else because have you seen the movie? The rap becomes gradually something like a pop song because you have a lot of a lot of very strange and a little almost fragile melodies, a little sometimes out of tune, and so it gives you something that you could not expect, but that I think is perhaps a little funny, a little touching, and even it's pretentious, but even poetical perhaps.
Yeah, it's very funny how the thugs start singing a chorus. But that's also not really realistic or naturalistic.
No, not at all.
You seem to refuse to make a realistic, naturalistic movie. Why?
Really. Because I think it's the most lazy way of doing movies. And it's not exciting for the audience and for me, at least for me, because I cannot speak for the audience. But in my own taste, which is informed by many, many movies that I've seen, every great film director that I could quote always try to push a little further and to try something that really surprises you, and you cannot be surprised if everything is purely realistic. So be it, I don't know, Vincente Minnelli, when he shot his musicals, be it, I don't know, Jack Turner with these strange thrillers or vaudou movies. You can have many ways of going out of the daily TV realist, but every time this is what makes you discover something. As I said during my class, a master class, there is a sentence by Jean Cocteau that I like very much. It's a French cinematographer and also poet, writer. It's a sentence that Paul Vecchiali, another film director that I like very much, used to quote during his Q&A. That's where I heard it. He says, I don't go to the movies to recognize, but to, non pas reconnaître, mais connaître. Okay. So in English it's hard to say, not recognize, but discover. But you lose the word play.
To know.
Yeah, just to know. And perhaps you cannot know except when you go into the unknown.
Okay.
And the unknown is what you don't see in your daily life or in the realistic stories that you read in the paper or that you watch on the TV during, I don't know, the infos. So that's where it comes from.
Okay. And lastly, why do you make movies? What drives you to do this?
I've always wanted to make movies since I was very young. This is not an excuse, neither a good way, but I cannot answer. I've always wanted to do this. Okay. It doesn't mean that I'm interested only by this, because I made many more things. I didn't study this. I studied a lot of things. I love philosophy, I love mathematics, I love music, I love literature. But still, this is the only job that I've always wanted to do. Okay. And I think that it's not that I'm good at it, but it's not that I have a huge success in terms of box office. But still, the way I got some reaction, be it by the press, by the festivals, or by just people talking with me, I think I'm not just living in my own mind, but something is transmitted because I've got some feedback that makes me think that I'm not completely buried in my blind soul.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Merci à vous.